Alright guys, welcome back. This is Cackling Cat, and today we are playing Lucid9. Oh yeah, let's check it out. I step back and examine my masterpiece. Perfect. My favorite color. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual, a happy anomaly. Just like me. Red isn't much for nature. Really only shows up in autumn, and even then it's a dreary rust or nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of aspergus. I pluck it from its branch with the edge of my stained fingernails. Disgusting. How anyone could enjoy this color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really, spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching cold fingers clutching at empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. Well, no matter. Today it shall be a palette for my paint. I make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I dip my finger into the settling pool of blood. It's warm, sticky, like syrup, or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts to my nostrils. It smells of iron, of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. Now, a new canvas. I check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin, with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required. As a substitute, I must find. Presently, I realize that I am still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose it will have to do. In one bold fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf, the very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah, yes, dear Vincent. The man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's new found radiance, before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ring and ruin the climax. Yes. Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well. Yes, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pulled into a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but master myself for one final word. Understood. I cut the transmission and eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. I pop the final capsule into my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Now this is life. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over, but tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Yosha Imato? Huh? I sluggishly pull my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Are you even listening? I hide an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I've always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled into me since age 6. Not that I can actually say that, in all honesty. This teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Surmise the whole section we've been reviewing. I glance at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. History of Asamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, we weren't at war, and we're basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher's lips purse into a thin line as the classroom erupts into a Snickers. It's not a Snickers bar. I feel the slightest ting of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then, in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of those countries most affected by this. Well, second to China. And why might that be? Because we were dumb about who we partnered with. She taps her finger impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to surmise the chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot, so we had a lovely depression with all-time high of unemployment and crime. Good effort. Gold star. The teacher waves her hands as the class roars with laughter. Right. That's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. In other words, grass is green. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation.
Okay.
She gestures a few seats to my right, where my lavender-haired classmate sits, her spine as straight as a ruler. I feel a curdle of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth Ashiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time! I settle my head on my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly.
Certainly. During this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading.
The teacher relaxes as Elizabeth's textbook recitation. Yeah. She even shoots a quick glare at my direction, as if to say, see, why can't you be more like Elizabeth? Because I like having a perfectly clean nose and not a brown one.
Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration, hence why Ishamu operates as smoothly as it does.
Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primally, because I don't like her and I don't care about talking about her very nicely, and settles back to her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Oh, beautiful and brainy, she might be worthy enough to make my list. I glance to my left just in time to catch another classmate, Yahiko Ikari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another, nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend for 2 years. He's close of a friend. Well, that's up for debate, really. Ha! She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Me too. No one can resist Yahiko Ikari. Yahiko! Yahiko clamps his mouth shut as the teacher's strident command. She learns. Wow. Sorry, guys. I am just tongue-tied today. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. All right, class. Thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from, so I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap is. Or was. Or something. Nah, not really. We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourselves 10 years from now? Probably not where you think you're going to be. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, the second day of school? Sure, this is a third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for college entrance exams. Does that mean that we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? The teacher pointedly looks at me, a hard glint in her eye. Yama Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I'm tempted to say no thank you, but that'd be pretty rude, and I'd probably get yelled at. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. The teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He will be a failure, this one. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Really, dude? Out of anything you could pick, you pick a restaurant manager? Why not? He'll eventually own it. Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude. Like women and cars. And he criticizes me for lack of imagination. Come on, it's been 10 years. Anything can happen. The teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice rises dramatically in volume. Ah, Yahiko. Thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread. Here goes his dream. The one that I've heard no less than 200 times before. Well, teacher, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador, pronouncing that wrong, 704 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Ah, heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him. What about the mansion? Right! Take all that and put it in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion attended by my staff of 1,000 maids. And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island, a man-made island, specifically constructed just for me with my name laser engraved into the hills so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to... That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your, input. Clearly, she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. And again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Yamiko, what about you? As the rest of our classmates drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Lemniscate or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet, just for designer shoes, the private jet, a second mansion in Tahiti. Oh crap, I did! Hey, teacher! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement as he gabs on and on about his yacht and his designer shoes and his private jet and his second mansion. A restaurant manager, huh? And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. She shifts her backpack's weight to the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of a family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant, nor not owned by your parents. They'll kick the bucket one day. I might as well be the one to take over. Have some respect, would you? I snicker at that respect me. I flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately. That was a pretty nice comeback. I'll have to give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? A student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. I'll be right there. Yep. Just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Particularly this girl, who I guess is the closest thing she's ever had to an actual friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, I bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of the room, nearly bumping into a startled Yakio. Yeah. On the way out, as a train of second years, probably her groupies, pull her away, Yahiko slips next to me. Keep messing up on his name. Why did she talk to you, dude? Not me, the great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation. Beats me, she's been doing that for a while. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I didn't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusually stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So, what do you think about my dream earlier? This again. On second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you've told me. It hasn't been too... maybe. Has it really? 203 to be exact. Huh? So that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally. I think it's the best dream in history. And it's so original and realistic. Yeah. Thanks, dude. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add? Aim for the moon, of course. He gasps, as if the best idea ever. Poor soul. Forget Tahiti. A mansion on the moon? You'd be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's even set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'd be to build a mansion there. No one's even set foot. Seriously? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. Enter Rui Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She's stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Besides her stands Masato Kuragan. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher these names, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody who has names like this. I'm sorry. Hardy in both build and personality. For some reason wearing a headband. Okay. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of the way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Ha! Somehow. I can't say I'm impressed. I'm surprised and or impressed. I know, right? I'm brilliant. Think the first man on the moon and the first man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright, you're blinding me. What have you been telling him? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind, of course. She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. What? I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Ugh, of course he is. This is news to me. It doesn't seem like a good idea, considering how he only went the one practice last year and ditched the rest. Wow! He ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it. What's that? You guys didn't even win last year, Masato. No need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Rui's apparent interest. See? We lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year, I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa. Masa. Yeah. Well, at the very least, this is a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic. And I'll call myself Speed of Light, Mountain Destroyer. The hell? You should rename yourself to Streaking Shadow Dark Eradicator. Then we'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm gonna do that. Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above us crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out some of our fellow students have planned. Already? It's just the second day. Maybe the school's just making everything happen faster this year. I don't really see why. The Shamu Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself. Even throughout the recession, there's no need to change things now. Hey! It's club time. Let's go take a look. No, thanks. I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means that she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Woohoo! Rui glares at me. I only wink back. Well, I shouldn't worry about that, my dear Rui. I'm sure you can use my substantial sphere of influence to get you on a good spot. I'm already in a club, you know, drama club. Hence the drama. Ah, right. She's been in drama club since last year, and somehow he's still forgotten. Then what was Yama talking about? Nothing, just acting like an idiot, as usual. Well, you know what they say, like attracts like. Rui elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips are pulling up to the corners. They also say opposites attract. Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yuhiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? No more than usual, no. Yuhiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace with my enamorable talents. They're enamorable, all right. So, without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hands, but Rui calls after him. Hey, you know what? You know that we'll be here, right? Club recruitment day. All the clubs will be here, including track and drama. Oh! Well, see you there. He whisks out of the room. You coming too, man? The track booth. Yeah? Eh? Me? Like I'm track poster child? Probably not. In fact, I'd probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can't be great. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe. AKA, every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? Come on. Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Masato grins, releases my arm. Good. I gotta go set up, but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to Rui. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you on track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You know, you could join drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think he'd just ask why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I think you'd really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Rui seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things that I don't mind doing. But it's so much work. It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun. I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders her bag. Well, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm going to get going. I'll go with you. We walk and step to the door, almost into freedom, and then the student voice of the teacher, strident voice of the teacher, rips through the air. Ahem, Yama Ishimato. Surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. What? Yeah, my attitude problem. I turn to Rui, suddenly pleading. Bail me out? No, not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction for me. I threw in a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only poked my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with the teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call falteringly after her. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. What was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Oops. Nothing. Great weather we're having, eh? She doesn't seem amused. At this point. At what point? It's the second day of school. Unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah, that's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for the therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me? You might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones of our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusually passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she grabs a book and envelope at me. Jabs it at me. Take this, Mr. Ryoto's office. You know where it is. A tiny pinch of tension releases Mr. Ryoto's a mentor. Maybe this won't be so bad. I give the book a once over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaiming primates of the 21st century, 100 plus correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yamo Ishimato. She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate me too. I trump down the stairs to the first floor and stop before a door at the edge of the hallway, bearing the sign J. Ryota, Dorm Manager. I rap sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No. Meh. Don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it. Don't bother. I press my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is. Action-packed orchestra strings, just barely bleeding through the wood. Faint cling of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? Oh? Bah! A moment later, the door clicks open. Well, that's gonna be all for tonight. Don't forget to share and subscribe. And as always, don't forget to tickle that like button, because you know it wants it. No matter what it says.